Hello everyone. Xin chào các bạn. Hola. Today we have another episode of Healthy Gaming. This month we talk about the Video Games Day, which actually we have two during the year, and how important video games have been for us in our lives during this context of COVID-19 and the pandemic. So this month we have several guests. We have TK, and we review all the video games that were part of our lives and make history. We also have Dr. Faye, and we talk about how to balance our lives and have a good approach of when we should have how to regulate ourselves and have a better relationship with technology, electronic devices, and video games. And today we have a special person. He's part of an Undying team, a professional team. Right now they're playing in the North American division. And his name is Timado, Enzo Gianoli. Hi, Enzo. Are you there?
Hello, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. So we have a lot of questions from the public. First, we have parents asking us, like, what do we do with our kids during pandemic? How do we regulate the time that they're spending on video games? But being a kid, being a young person also is very difficult during this time. We can't go out, we can't do all the activities that we used to do. So all their world actually is in the virtual world. So they have questions for you, and so you would like to watch a video with me?
Yes, very much.
Okay. Let me find a video. I think, well, I can find it, actually. There we go. So what do you think? We have actually many questions for you.
Will you start with the questions? Which one you want to choose first?
Like, for example, what's the main factor that makes you be sure that you are or you can be a video gamer, a professional one?
I think it's something you have to realize yourself by measuring how well you can play. You know, most games, they have like a way of putting your skill in a number or some sort of medal. So first you have to like climb up the ranks. You have to like play against other players, realize that you have potential, and then you do like the game. And then you have to make the choice that you have to take this jump, because nothing's gonna let you know that you're gonna become a pro player. It's very hard to do so. You have to put the passion, you have to put the hours, you have to be very disciplined. You have to sacrifice a lot of things that normal people do, like going out with their friends, studying and so on, because it's so time demanding. It's just like any sport that you have to train all the time, and you have to be very passionate about it. Plus you need the skill.
Seems like a lot, right?
Yeah.
So how many hours do you spend playing video games?
It depends. For example, when I started playing, when I was just like trying to see if I was good enough, because I always like playing video games. I've always played video games my entire life. I played video games with you, played video games with my dad, and it's always something that's been part of my life. But then I started growing up. I realized that there was a pro scene, that you could actually go pro in these games, that you could dedicate your life to competing in a specific video game, and people enjoy watching it, and you can earn money from it, and you could play at the highest level, compete against the best players in the world. So I started playing like around 5 hours a day, I would say. I'll play like 4 to 5 hours plus do my homeworks from school. Then it reached a critical point where I started getting invited to teams. I think that's the first step that the natural step to take is you get an offer from a team that you think is good enough. You start playing in some tournaments, like small ones, you know, online tournaments and stuff. And then you go to the next one, which is to duplicate that. I normally in a standard weekday, I play around 10 to 12 hours with breaks, of course, but in total it's around 10 to 12 hours.
And if you add your time, you know, on the phone, on the tablet, or any other virtual interaction, so it's practically your whole day.
Yes.
So, well, but you're a professional video gamer. That's different from us. Like, we probably play 1 hour in a day, and I don't think we can more because we have a lot of other things to do. How do you keep the balance in your life between video games and your personal life?
It's important to have your priorities in life for anything that you do. Once you have that straight and clear, it's easier to go from there. I always like to prioritize my health, like physical health and mental health over anything else. Because if you're in a bad state, you're feeling down, you don't have the energy, even if you're playing for fun, you're not going to enjoy it and you're not going to do it well. So I think a good way to have balance between video games and your personal life is to always put your health and responsibilities first. Specifically for me, the game is my responsibility because I have to practice, I have to talk to my team, I have to come up with different things for the game, think about it all the time. So that is one of my responsibilities that I enjoy having to deal with, but there are other ones that I don't enjoy as much, you know, like watering the plants, for example, and I go to my garden and have to water the plants. It's those small things that they add up in your day and that they make you feel good and that you have to do them to function as a person. So they always have to be the priority, your health and your responsibilities.
So, meaning sleeping, interacting with your family, friends, and
Social interaction, of course, is part of your mental health too.
okay. One of the other questions are there any tips for beginners to develop effective strategies while playing, and how can professional gamers earn money from playing video games?
Let's see. Well, when I play a new game that I like, I always look at streamers. I think looking at professional streamers, pro players that stream the game, or professional streamers that mainly focus on one game is very good because they're gonna digest the information and then give it to you. So it makes it way easier to understand. Uh, I like to look up guides, maybe some forums online, make some new friends. That always helps too. I play with my friend Age of Empires, and we're constantly talking to each other about what we could have done better, if we should have done something different, and so on. That always helps for beginners because it's fun to learn a game, but you don't always know when to start. So that's where like reading up guides or looking at streamers can get you on your feet. And most of the time, pro players they get their money from salary or prize pools from tournaments. So when you join an established team, or maybe not established team, like an amateur team, you're gonna have a small salary. It's not gonna be the best, but you're gonna get some money from it. And usually teams have don't take much of the percentage of prize pools from tournaments. So that's gonna be your main source of income for the most of the time. Like you win some tournament, like let's say it's like $500 and you split it with your 5 teammates, your 5 in total, I mean, and each one's gonna get $100. That's the most you're gonna make at the start. But that's the pro gamer life. And there's also like sponsorships that you can get on your own, like if you talk to some brand or some betting company, so on. There's also the streaming route because you can always stream, you know, streaming is just like showing the rest of the world the things you're doing right now. So it's just you're playing your own game, but people are seeing it and you're gonna get donations. People are gonna sub to you if you interact with the chat, or if you're good enough and people enjoy what you're doing, then they're gonna give you something back.
So it's like any other profession, complicated. If you are good, you're going to make more money. If you win tournaments, you're going to also make more money. And if you are in a good team, that will also increase your chances to make more. So this lasts forever, or
It depends
what happens?
on each game, because for example, I know that games like League of Legends or I think Valorant too, they have like some sort of league system where like you don't get paid that much, but a lot of people are getting paid and they compete in like tier two, like second division type of competition. You know, they don't have to be the best in the world to make some money. In Dota, it's not so much like that, which is something that's been criticized a lot, but that's just how the game's been working for like probably 10 years now. um so yeah, it's still not as reliable as it should be or as it could be, but I'm sure it will get there at some point. You know, like professional gaming is not something that's very old. It's relatively new, and there's still a lot of things that could improve, like the stability in terms of a salary. So it's still a big risk. It's not something that I recommend to a lot of people. It's something that you have to be sure of yourself, and if you believe in yourself that you're good enough and you're gonna have the passion and be able to sacrifice the things to be able to get there, to become it, to make it something rentable and sustainable.
Well, we have many questions. I encourage the public to write your questions in the comment section if you have any. Um, I have actually several questions for you. And so, should children play games to learn English? 5 to 6 years old?
Um,
Well,
um,
I think as a parent, I can say
yes.
Enzo started around that age. You start to play video games 5 years old, I think. So, how was for you?
I definitely believe that one of the main reasons why my English improved so fast, especially in school, it was mainly because I play a lot of video games and I always play video games in English. Even if I didn't fully understand it, my brain got used to it. And of course, online gaming helped me a lot if interacting with other people around the world and is practicing my English. I used to have like the worst English, it was the most broken thing ever. But with time and practice, it got better.
One of the
So,
things that I was talking with parents was like, if you want your kid to learn a specific language, turn the language in the video game that they like the most to whatever language that you want him to learn, and they are going to do their best. The same game that they play over and over, if you change all the settings to the specific language, it's going to make a difference because they're going to be really motivated to learn everything that is there. Wow, we have more questions. Let's go for the questions at the end. Um, I wanted to share with you um, what we were doing. This month we have two guests, like I was saying at the beginning, because we were trying to figure it out if there's a way to auto-regulate ourselves when it comes to playing video games, to using electronic devices. Like you say, okay, you have 5 hours dedicated to video games, but if you add on top of that the time that you are on your phone, the time that you are on your tablet, on and on, it becomes your whole day. So there's an impact when it comes to you using those devices, like physically speaking, right? And probably you've been challenged by that. So as a professional, I imagine that you have to deal with things like technique, since we are in a position, we are positioned in our on our computers. The bad posture holding those devices. Let's talk about the mouse or maybe your tablet or your phone, right? And when you are sitting in the computer, all those things are important for you, right?
mhm. um, yeah, it's definitely a very important thing. It doesn't seem like for a lot of young people, it doesn't seem like it at the moment, you know, because you don't really feel the pain, or maybe if it aches a little bit, you just rub it off. Uh, but as you get older and you progress in life, then you start to feel those pains a little stronger, and then it can escalate into something worse, to becoming like, I don't know, having some issue with your wrist or your elbow, which are very common in pro gaming, or the neck thing, you know. Um, what I like to do is between matches, I always try to stand up and stretch, just a regular stretching, getting the blood flowing around my body to help me think better. Maybe I'll try to do it outside to get some fresh air too, because all these small things, like, they don't seem that important again, and people overlook it a lot. But that even makes the difference between the highest level of players, the ones that take the time to go out, take a walk, have some water, take a breath of fresh air, stretch out. It helps a lot. And I have my armrest lined up with my table. That way it's like straight, so I don't think anything on my elbow. When I used to have a different chair that I couldn't line up with the table, then I will feel sometimes a little pain on my elbow. And I try to keep my phone usage at the minimum, but that's because I'm a pro gamer too. I know that I put so many hours in my computer that I don't want to be spending more time on my phone or my tablet or anything like that. It's very detrimental to our lifestyle when we spend a lot of time doing those things. It's important to understand that it's a very useful tool, and we've gotten used to it with living. We've gotten used to using those things every day, but you need to know when to take a break. That's the most important thing. Mm, there are some specific stretching things I do for my wrist. Uh, I have a couple links. It's very related to like the same thing that I think pianists do in terms of stretching, getting my wrist warmed up.
Mhm.
Um, what else do I do? I do some eye stretching. It sounds a little funny, but it's a way to train your eyes. So, cause like when you're playing a game and you're looking at the screen, your eyes are really not moving much, and sometimes you get very close to the screen too, because you're very focused. So it's very
Yeah.
important to, at the end of the day, at least maybe some 5 to 10 minutes, just like look at the wall and make your eyes look somewhere else. Just like,
Look at the corner. Don't move your hand.
yes, they're very simple, but they help. They help a little bit. And
They actually help not only to professional gamers, like we adults now, because of COVID, we are working from home. So we are spending time in the computer as much as a professional video gamer. So posture, how your elbow is positioned, how your back is positioned in the chair, all those things end up being having a huge impact in your health. So there's a funny meme. I know all the theory. I know this is the angle that I'm supposed to be. My back should be like that, but I'm like the cat. It's like I I surprise myself sitting in the most awkward position ever and say like, why does my back hurts? And it's like, obviously, right? Look at
yeah.
yourself, how you're sitting. So it's you will say that having a good posture with electronic devices is actually constant work to remind yourself to do it. It doesn't come automatically, right?
Hmm. You have to get used to it. It's like any of those healthy habits that you want to develop, you have to work on it until and then it becomes a habit and you stop thinking about it. And then you just do it every day on automatic. And your body's going to thank you for it. Maybe not now, but in 10 years, it will, maybe more.
Okay, so for you, the steps up: warm up before gaming or before using electronic devices. You check your posture always. Take breaks, right?
Hmm.
Drink water, take breaks, healthy snack options. And we're going to talk about that later. And stretching after gaming. So, what about your warm up routine? You said that you have a few tips about movement. um, I know from doctors that not only moving your wrist, also doing this micro movements. They call them. There's like a difference of dynamic movement and micro
With the
movement.
fingers.
Is that a common practice among professionals?
I'm not entirely sure if it's for most professionals. It's something that I've talked to before with other pro players, and sometimes we've shared our tips on how to like perform better and be more optimal with the game. But I can only speak for myself. And when I'm preparing for a tournament with my team, I like to be very disciplined on my warm up. I like to do the classic stretching. I like to warm up my reflexes too. I have a couple of things that I do, like the classic reflex test. That is like when the light turns green, you have to press left click. The faster you do it, the better it's gonna be. So they have another one that's like a typing test to get my fingers warmed up. And I do all the things that you mentioned about the warming up your wrists, your fingers, and so on. It takes about like 10 to 15 minutes max. And I like to match it with my breakfast. So while I'm waking up, I do all these things that, I have the time to do it.
So taking time to exercise and to warm up. There's a huge difference between exercises and warming up. So do you do any physical cardio work?
Right now I'm not doing it because it's very cold in Peru and it's been raining quite a lot. But yes, I will do um about 10 to 15 minutes of a lot of cardio, like push-ups, pull-ups, all the basic things, jumping jacks and so on. I don't like to do weights because I don't like putting the risk of injuring myself. And personally, I don't find much interest in lifting weights. But I know that those 15 minutes of exercise, they have a lot of impact in your life. I perform better, I have better energy, when I exercise, I like to throw away all those negative thoughts that I have in game. Like I just lost like 3 games in a row and I'm feeling so bad. I'm so angry. I'm mad because I got some teammates that they weren't the best to play with. And I just go throw it all out there while I'm exercising. So yes, it's definitely very good to do so. And it doesn't
Yeah,
have to be much.
moving exercises, they're always good for mental health. So ergonomics and posture. So we know posture is the foundation of healthy gaming, and you can effectively reduce the risk for all these issues by correcting it. Sitting up and then leaning forward, like you said, keeping your shoulders back and down, and keeping your head back with your chin tuck. That seems very stiff.
Yeah.
So does this posture in professional video game players chairs really work?
I'll tell you a lot of players don't follow this. That one I'm sure of. It's very hard because like when you're very focused on the game, you lose track of all these things. And if your body's like not very used to it, even if your body's very used to it, when you're like playing the grand final or something or some semi-final, something that's very important to you, you just like 100% of the game. There's no way to prevent yourself from having your head on the screen, being super close and like screaming and being very loud. So that's why I think with the pro gamer life, it's important to like balance it out. You're not always gonna be in the best posture. You're not always gonna be doing your warm up. But the fact that you're thinking about it and you're trying to do it every day, that's what's gonna bring balance to your life and not, having some chronic thing on your arm or wrist by the age of 30.
You have many fans asking, do you have an exercise routine? What do you do when a game gives you more stress than joy? Well, I will say stop playing, right?
Yes, take a break. That's direct and most simple advice you can give you. Take a break.
Breathe. um, whatever. Did you get any negative reaction from family members when you said that you will dedicate yourself to esports?
A little bit, of course, because you're never sure that you're gonna make it in esports. You can dedicate 5 years of your life and you can be at like the bottom of the pyramid and just be grinding every day without accomplishing something that's gonna fill you up. So yeah, it's rough, but I think once you prove to your family how committed you are, and then once you bring them something that they can justify why you're taking this choice, why you're making this choice, then it's definitely gonna help. Like when I started making some money and I signed my first contract in a team, that's when like I remember most of my family members were accepting it and they didn't look at it as something like I just was avoiding I was trying to avoid studying and more like, oh, this is a choice he has made. He doesn't want to have the conventional life. He wants to play video games all day and he wants to be really good at it, Sounds kind of odd, but if it works out for him, then we can only support them from here. So
Show me the money. That's
it's the
in
passion,
other
the
words.
work, and sometimes the money. Yes, of course, because like money is important to get. Like when your son is like 17, look it from the parents' perspective. You're like, your son is 17, 16, all his friends are like deciding what to study, where they want to go, what they want to be. And your son is just like just playing video games 10 hours a day. You get concerned because like, what's he gonna do with his life? How's he gonna sustain himself when I'm no longer here on earth? So you want him to have the best life possible. And sometimes it looks like playing 10 hours a game is not the best life choice. But if you're good enough and you're disciplined enough, you can make it so.
Let's be clear with something, and it's like not everybody is a Maradona on football, right? Like not everybody was born to be a professional video gamer, and parents have the same difficulty when your son is it's going to be, I don't know, a football star. How do you know if he's a football star? You follow up the steps, and same with video games, we follow some steps. But I think also society judges a lot parents when they let them play video games. Like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be parenting. Why your son or daughter is investing all this time on video games? So it's not an easy path, not only for the family of the professional video gamer, also for the gamer. And as anything in the world and anything in your life, you have to work for it. You have to build trust. You have to be serious with that if you wanted to make it a profession. What about, let's see, here says, to play Dota 2, sometimes it's too stressful. I've seen you dancing on your streaming after each match of Dota. Do you think that dancing is a good way to avoid stress?
Well, I like to have fun on my stream. Yes, sometimes like most things in life, like it can be can cause you very good emotions, make you very happy, or it can cause you to be very stressed out and hate your life and regret installing the game. I think it just comes down to the perspective that you have on things. Like, why are you playing Dota? What's the point of playing? Like, why do you decide to install this game and dedicate so many hours? I did it because I enjoy the game. I really like it. I have a lot of fun playing the heroes and being good at the game, and that's what brings me joy. So when I'm playing really well and I feel like I'm doing so, I can even dance, because that how happy it can make me. And yes, I do believe that dancing is a good way of coping with stress. I like to, at the end of the day, if I'm feeling a little down or anything, I like to put some headphones or turn on my speaker, play music that I like, whatever I'm feeling this month, and just dance a little bit. I mean, no one's watching, no one's gonna judge me, no one's gonna say anything. It's just me and my music. And I think having those habits, it can help for anything in life to relieve some stress and enjoy yourself and gain some perspective on why are you doing all these things.
So we can say that a good way to make a break during your day, if you're working, if you're playing video games, if you're using your phone, your tablet, if you need to make a break, it's a very good idea to dance.
Yes.
Okay, I like that one. What about eating? What do you eat? What's your diet look? What do you
Um,
prevent to eat? What you can avoid? I can't avoid ice cream. I try to be healthy, but ice cream is my nemesis.
I see.
What about you?
I think coffee will be my number one thing in terms of a snack. I love my coffee. It gives me through the day all the time. I wake up, I have my cup of coffee. I woke up, it's midday. I take another cup of coffee. I'm ready for the midday. It's late night. I want to play some games before I go to bed. I drink some coffee. I like tea. Tea helps me regulate my mood a lot when I'm having something that I think the action of drinking something hot and that it has a lot of water, it makes me very calm. Like sometimes I'm very stressed out in my game. Like I just died. I made a mistake. I'm not having the best game. And I just grab my hot cup of tea and I take a sip and I think while I do so, and it helps me mentally reset. A glass of water helps too. I like bananas as a snack. I think fruits are very helpful to be to like I play one game, takes like 40, 50 minutes. I take a break, a small break, like a couple minutes. I stretch out a little bit. I eat a fruit. I think bananas are the perfect fruit for gamers. There's of like energy, flavor, and so on. There's like I read this somewhere too. It's like it's very efficient. They're not hard to digest and so on. Um, what else do I eat? I think those things. I have a very healthy uh lifestyle. I try to do so. I think I have to give back to my body with how much I look at the screen, how much I demand it to think like I want to use my brain for it. Like I have to be clicking and pressing the keyboard and looking at 10 things at the same time during 10 hours a day. I gotta give my brain the nutrients. I gotta give it back some greens, some vegetables, some fruits. So try to get as many. It feels nice to eat the pizza and order the ice cream and so on, but think of your body, what's in it. Like your body is like your best tool to get you through life, and how do you enable it?
Yeah, I think at least my generation, we were not educated on how food impacts your daily life. I think that I learned that during my adulthood. Um, Eating vegetables seems silly, but it does increase your levels of energy. One simple tip is I used to blend everything. I will put all the vegetables in a pot and boil them and blend it. And that's what Timalo used to drink. That way there were not complaints about which vegetable you're putting on the soup or something like that. Everything is blend, right? Um, Also, fruits, I agree. It's a great snack. And we have to face reality. After 1 year and a half of this pandemic, everybody gained weight because we were used to. There's a person in the audience talking about walking. Yes, walking is it was a real good. It was a real good activity to do. It doesn't increase your hunger. If you run, it does, but when you walk, it doesn't. And it activates a lot of organs in your body, like digestion. So what do you do at home to keep that balance during pandemic?
It's funny because I lost a lot of weight through this pandemic. I I I was trying to be very disciplined, like you couldn't go outside, um, you know, cut off from a lot of people you care for, your family, your friends, couldn't see them. Definitely rough times. But once I understood this, I was like very honest. It's gonna be rough. It's not gonna be easy. So you're gonna have to try harder. And I try harder. I changed a lot of bad habits that I have, especially like eating wise. I don't consume as much sugar as I do now. As I did before. I mean, I don't consume as much sugar as I did before. I don't eat saturated fats, and you just have to get your body used to things. It's not easy, but it starts from yourself. You can always blame like the environment and so on, but I find this pandemic being helpful with like facing up the problems, standing up to them, seeing them straight in the eyes, and realizing that that's not how you want to be, and there are things that you want to change about yourself, and those unhealthy habits can be one of them. I
Interesting.
personally never liked exercising, like going to the gym and so on, and I've never been much of a jogger. So it didn't affect me much. I think if you have a garage and you have your arms and you have a YouTube tutorial, you can do any workout you want. Everything is out there. You just need the interest for it. Once you understand why you want, like, once you understand the things you want to do, who you want to be, then the next step is how you want to do them, and there's always going to be a solution for it. If you don't have any weights, if you don't have any money to like buy the fancy things to get the proper workout going, you can just Google a tutorial and be like, all I have with me are my weak arms. How can I work out? And there's gonna be a lot, trust me, because that's what I did, and it helped me a lot to find motivation to do so. Uh,
That's great. Yeah,
and
I agree.
meditating, very helpful too. I do it. I try to do it as much as I can, especially before I go to sleep. take 10 minutes of my day to just be thankful for the things that I got, realize where am I standing, you know, sometimes it's your bed, sometimes it's the floor, sometimes the couch. And I'm just like, I'm here, this is me. I'm very thankful for everything I got. And I make peace with the present. And once I make peace with the present, it's like easier to get through life.
That's an awesome practice, actually, and it's true. This pandemic has made us look at ourselves in a mirror, and the good and the bad are there. So it's up to us to change those things and to create a better context for ourselves and do those questions, right, to us. What do we want to do and how do we reach that goal? So exercise, it's a big thing. It's good for you. Don't come with excuses. You heard it from Tomorrow. You just need YouTube and time to do exercises. So we go now back to the questions of your audience, and we have actually many. I think we share them in the chat. Let's
I have
see.
one that I want to answer.
Okay. Say the question.
It said, how do you manage your game life balance? Do you have a schedule like a normal job, or what makes you decide to stop gaming so you can take time for your family, friends, or girlfriend or boyfriend? It's funny because I was just talking to my girlfriend about this because it's not the easiest thing to do. I struggle with it too. It's really can cause a lot of anxiety to think about whether you're doing the correct thing right now, especially because like everyone's competing. So every time you're not competing, someone else might be. Someone else might be practicing more than you. But it all comes down to efficient hours. You don't have to practice every hour of the month or every hour of the week. You don't have to play 24 hours a day. It comes down to how much you can make out of your day. How much can you learn in one day? Because we go all by the same pace, you know, everyone's going second by second. And a good way to balance it out is to think about tournaments. What are you preparing for? If you're not playing for anything, it's hard to find the motivation and actually do it properly. So I like to, well, my team, we follow it like this. Like when there's a tournament, we focus on the tournament. We have one day off a week, like let's say some Saturdays, some Sunday, or maybe 2 days where we just don't play Dota, see your family, talk to your girlfriend, spend some time with her, play some other game that you like, read some book, do anything that's just not related to the game, and then refresh your head. And then when the week starts again, go full at it again.
That's a lot of discipline.
And you just need to follow the tournaments. Like you need to respect when you're gonna be busy, dedicate your most to it. And then when you're not, that's when you have to find the time to do things you like. Right now, for example, this past month after I qualified to TI, it's been like a month off, which I rarely have. And I spend that seeing my grandma, seeing some of my friends that I hadn't seen, playing some of the games that I had on my Steam library and I hadn't played. Um, like organizing my room. Like I threw away some old clothes the other day that I hadn't touched in like so many years. I just didn't pay attention to it. So I'm just trying to do anything that I can that I didn't have the time before. Now I have it because in the next month I'm gonna be very busy. I'm gonna be practicing a lot. So I want to enjoy this time that I have free and spend it with we spend it with the people I care with.
That's really great, and it's a good demonstration of discipline, self-discipline. So this idea that video games and video game players are like playing all the time and they have no restriction is actually quite the opposite. There's a very good structure behind what you do and what your team does, right? So, and how you prioritize your personal life also gives us a different picture of what's going on in that career. I think, did you see any other questions you want to answer?
You can go on. I haven't seen anyone. Any question that draws my attention?
What do you do when you feel frustrated about not getting anything playing Dota? I think he already said that. It's like he takes a break for a cup of
Well,
tea.
I can specify more on it because it can be like a recurring issue, which is you have to it's easier to enjoy the game when you focus on enjoying it. It sounds dumb to say it, you know, it's like, oh yeah, of course I play the game because I like it, otherwise I wouldn't play it. You know, that's like the starting point. But yes, sometimes you have to go back to point zero, to the starting point, and understand again why are you playing it. Like, I like playing Dota. I like playing Dota, and that's what made me play it so much. I played so much Dota that I became good at it. I became good at it because I played so much. So the reason why I play good is because I play it. At this point, I play so much that it's all in my brain. I don't have to think of it. I just have to play my own game. And if I'm enjoying it, I will do it better. So my focus goes on being in a good mood, feeling good in my day, feeling good about myself, and just playing my game. Sometimes we get carried on about these like things in life that can be very addicting, like success, like having high rank, high MMR, high placing, number one. Everyone wants to be the number one, right? But you just have to do your own thing. You're gonna get there by doing your own thing and doing it well, not by like stressing yourself over getting there. You know, it's like you're not gonna get better by saying, "Oh, I need to be the best." No, do the things you believe that you have to do to be the best, and focus on that. And when you focus on those things, and your focus is not on being winning the tournament, then you get more pleasure out of it and you feel more like satisfied.
One of the things that I do is to have post-its. So around my monitor, I have phrases like eat healthy, do exercises, breathe, right?
Mhm.
Take 5 minutes
I have some
to dance.
post-its too, and
Actually, it says dance.
yeah,
So do you do something similar?
yeah, oh, for sure. I have a lot of post-its. I don't have as many right now because I'm in a break currently, but I always have a lot of post-its. I like to be very specific about my post-its because sometimes I'm in a day and I finish my day and I'm like, God, today was just like it was not nice. Like I lost most of my games. I was so
You don't feel
stressed. I was
productive.
so anxious, you know. Yeah, I wanted to like smoke a cigarette, stuff like that. Like, you know, I'm turning back to the bad habits. And
What?
then I write on my post-it, you know, my conclusion of the day, which is like, uh, I need to take a 10-minute break in between games. I shouldn't change you. I shouldn't finish a game, search for another one instantly. No, no, no. I'm still mad from the last game. I haven't allowed my body to like recover. Like, you know, I don't feel it because I'm angry and upset, but my body's like a little tired from playing that game. It was a long game. And I put it on my post-it because it's important. It's something that I reach. Like right now, for example, my post-it I can show you just like I have one that says no emotions in game. When you play with emotions, then you you make
I
bad
want a
decisions.
dollar. I want a dollar in a bucket every time I see you in your streams being
Yes, it's not
emotional.
easy. It's not easy, but it's a reminder that I have to try. And the harder I try, the better it will be. The second one I have is express your needs as a carry. Carry is my role in the game. And sometimes I'm not very good at letting my teammates know what I need from them. So it's something that I need to work on. So I put it in my post-it. I have my goal for this TI is get top 6. I want to get top 6 at TI. So it's a good reminder. Every time I look up, I see it and I'm like, I want to get top 6. So whatever I'm doing right now, even if it's not game related, it's aimed towards that. So it's nice to have it there because you get to remind yourself of your goals and where you want to be. That's it. I'm gonna add more, you know, with the coming weeks. And the busier I get, the more posts there will be. But those are the ones I have right now.
Whew. So what I learned today is being a professional video gamer is not easy. Being an adult or a young person during this time, historic time, this pandemic is not easy. So take it easy, relax, breathe, meditate like Timado, do some exercises, try techniques like putting post-its around your computer to encourage yourself to reach those goals like he has. And don't push yourself too hard. just try to be organized with the time that you spend on the things that you like and the responsibilities that you have. The balance is not a formula. It's not a thing that Timado is going to come here, or I'm going to come here, or a psychologist is going to come here and tell you, you have to play 1 hour, 2 hours. The formula depends on everybody. Depends on the context, depends on what you're doing in that moment. So find your own formula of bringing balance to your life. We have actually way too many questions for you. Do you want to say something to your fans or to the audience?
Yeah, thanks for being here and tuning in. It's nice to have these talks because it should definitely get more normalized to have this type of healthy habits for anything in life, and like taking care of your social life and taking care of your own body and your mental health. It should be things that should be priority for everyone out there. So I think this talk definitely helps to answer some of the questions that people have on how to deal with them. I have to answer my own questions. Sometimes I ask people, the same question, so they help me with the answer. But I hope my answers can help people a little bit more too, to feel better when they get stressed out, like they don't know what to do. I just lost every game. I'm so bad. I go for the same. We're all alike in this sense.
I have to say, don't eat cuates, don't
Yes,
drink
no
seafood.
soda, no chips. This does not help. It will give you immediate
No
pleasure,
chips.
but that's it.
So Dota players, gamers, and general audience, keep it healthy. That's a very good approach to it. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Timado, for accepting this interview and talking about healthy gaming to the audience. It's difficult for everybody, so try to be positive and encourage yourself to choose the best option possible every time. It's an active work. It's not a one-time thing. It's constant. So be good, be safe. Thank you, Timado. A todos los fans en Perú, gracias and goodbye.